Okay, so welcome back. Now we're going to do another one where we have a more general case of the cotangent function. And so here we have a C and D, so we've got a horizontal and vertical shift going on. And so again, we just want to write up the general characteristics that are going to help us graph this thing. So A is 4, so there's our stretch factor of 4. And then B is pi over 8, okay, which gives us our period, which is pi over the absolute value of B, which then gives us 8. So our period is 8. Okay, now the phase shift is going to be C over B, right? So which this gives us a phase shift of 4. So that means everything that from the cotangent function is going to be shifted 4 units to the right. So that means asymptotes and everything, right? So again, if we understand the basic characteristic of a cotangent x function, right? If we understand this function, the way it behaves, we know that asymptotes go through multiples of pi and 0. So that means, notice that the asymptotes now shift from what? 0 to 4. And the fact that the period is 8 tells us when the next asymptote will happen. Right? So once we have the first asymptote, then all we have to do is use the period to tell us when the next one is going to be. And then we know in between, because again, the basic cotangent function crosses right in the middle of the two asymptotes. So we know that it's going to cross at 8. And we can verify this by plugging 8 into here, because if we plug in 8, we get pi minus half of pi, which gives us the cotangent of pi over 2, which is 0. So we know it crosses at 0. Now, but keep in mind that it's shifted down 1, because this is going to be equal to 0, which makes this whole thing 0, but it's going to be at -1. So it's going to cross at 8, comma, -2, which is about right there. Okay, now, also, again, that's, okay, D is -2, which tells us it's a vertical shift down 2 units. So now, all we have to do is plot a couple of points and then finish it off. So, how do we pick our points? Well, again, we want to divide this by 4, right? So we know that at quarters, right? At quarters, we know this is going to give us pi over 4. This is also going to give us pi over 4, okay? Because, or not pi over 4, but this is going to give us 3 pi over 4, okay? So if I use 6 here, if I put 6 here, I'm going to get pi over 4 here, and the cotangent of pi over 4 is 1, which means I'm going to get 4 minus 2, which is 2. So my other point is going to be 6 comma 2. So that's going to be right about there. Now, what about the other one? What if I put over here? Well, if I go to 10, well, 10 is going to give me 3 pi over 4. So if I put 10 here, I'm going to get 5 pi over 4 minus 2 pi over 4, which is going to give me 3 pi over 4, and that's going to give me -1. And so that gives me a -4 minus 2, which gives me, guess what? -6. And so now my other point is going to be 10 comma -6, which is going to be way down here. And so my point is going to be approximately right about there. And so guess what? Now, again, using the fact that cotangent is the inverse of tangent, that it's going to have, again, a basic downward slope from left to right. So it's going to have something that looks like, oops. So with a little curve in the middle, okay? And that's it.